all started on April 15th, 2012 this year. I was at a volleyball tournament that day. It was just a normal day. And I got home that night, and that day I dove more than usual. I mean, obviously you dive in volleyball, but I dove a little more than usual, and my stomach got hurt that evening. And I went to my dad in the den, and I was like, "Dad, my stomach hurt." He checked to see if it was like a sports hernia or something, see if there was any lumps in my stomach or bruises or anything, and there wasn't. So he just said to go to bed and we'll see how it is in the morning. So I did, and I went to school that day, and the pains were still pretty sharp. I remember I was in math class and I texted my mom and I told her that it really hurt and I just wanted to go home, and she's like, "Oh, you're fine." That night I ended up at urgent care right before practice because it hurt so bad. They said that my liver was enlarged and to go straight to the emergency room. And we got there and they didn't say that it was a liver. They didn't know what it was. They did a CT and stuff and thought it was gastritis and just block up or whatever. They gave me a lot of drugs and finally we just got out of there. So after about a month and a half of trying to figure out what it was, we figured out that it was my gallbladder and it's actually functioning at 11%. So I got gallbladder surgery. I remember the first week I couldn't even lift up my arms. It hurt so bad. We started going to a lot more doctors during the summer for that, and I've been to cardiothoracic surgeons, I've been to orthopedic surgeons, I've been to diagnostics team, been to a lot of different doctors, and none of them really could figure it out. So we just kind of dealt with the pain and I kind of just ignored it. Tried to live my life as normal as possible. Then later, that summer, I guess probably about beginning of July, it was still hurting pretty significantly, and then I started to get bad headaches. And I remember I looked in the mirror and I looked green and it was really bad. I looked really bad. I felt awful. The pain in my stomach was super bad and the headaches were getting worse. They've been getting worse for a while, and this was about the third week of July. So that night we decided that I was going to the emergency room the next day, and then I got admitted into the hospital. We found out that I had a benign cyst in the pineal gland of my brain. They sent us to a neurosurgeon, and he was not very helpful with the symptoms that I've been having because I've been having headaches and dizziness and nausea. And I actually had started blurred vision late July. I would focus on something and it kind of go blurry for a second, and then it would go back to normal, but that had been getting a little bit worse. So we talked to him about, the vision, the dizziness and everything, and he didn't have a specific answer for why I was having them, but he totally said that it was not related to the cyst at all. So we just kept trying to find ways to, just get answers and get this fixed. My parents did some research and stuff and found this the School-Based Institute out in LA. About 2 weeks ago we found out that I have to get surgery because the way the cyst is positioned in my brain is pushing on certain tracts that are pushing on my optic nerve. Surgery is really the only option that we have, and I can't go like living my life like this either. Actually, on the website, or I don't know how my mom found it, but she found out this girl who had one in the same region that I had. She had had it for 2 years, and like at the point where they finally got to the school-based institute, she couldn't even hold a pencil. She had gone completely blind in one of her eyes. She regained full vision, so that's hopeful for me. I'll be in the hospital for 2 days, unless there's complications. And then they'll discharge me. I'll stay at the hotel for a couple days, and then I'll fly back home. And it'll be great, because hopefully I'll be home for Christmas. Once we get the surgery for the brain surgery, I think I'll finally be on my way back to recovery.